An explosive first map from Windigo. We saw Instinct putting up one hell of a fight, but towards the end, it all fell apart. Overpass, of course, was the map pick of the Windigo Warriors. They looked fantastic there. Now we head into Nuke, and this is the map choice of the French squad. And this is where I'm hoping we can see them, take us the distance so we can go all three.
That first map only clarified my thoughts in that I still think this is going 3. I think Instinct can take this map. They put up a fight over on Overpass. A couple of key rounds caused them to fall at the end. I definitely think they could have made it closer if they won that anti-eco that, of course, broke their money. So, yeah, moving over to Nuke, certainly a chance. This is not a map that Windigo frequent. They can, of course, play it. Windigo have a very deep map pool, but not to the same... this is an assumption here. Maybe not to the same, preparation of Instinct on this map, right? Because we know the Frenchies love Nuke. They've been playing it all tournament long, and it's Instinct's pick. You've got to have some expectation of them to do something here, Harry. But that being said, as you can see, the odds still not looking favourable for the series, and overall, in a best of 3, I don't really blame them.
No, definitely not. One silver lining, though, for any Instinct fans out there is that Twano had one hell of a game.
Yes.
He was looking fantastic. And we also had Fuchs putting up some serious numbers behind him. We need to see a bit more. I'm just going to say, namely from, I think, DreamHack is definitely a talking point, right? He was someone who I was pretty excited about seeing in this team. Obviously, he kind of came off of the worst end of the split from his old mate Amanek, right? Who has gone on to do better things. But DreamHack, we had some reasonable expectations for him, and he's still kind of yet to have hit that for me, right? He's still kind of yet to have been a real talking point within this squad. I'm hoping Nuke is the battleground in which we can see great things forged, though, for this Instinct squad. We're about to head into this one. Map 2, Windigo's sat 1-0 up right now. Last chance saloon for Instinct to try and take this all 3.
And lots of utility for Windigo's pistol as well. Fast A play seems to be their call. And Matt End, he's the only man on the site. Smoke down in main, and both players dead on A immediately. What a pace set by Windigo. The confidence is flowing through their veins, Harry, and the bomb plant down, a 5-on-3. What do you even do here if you're Instinct? You physically can't get into this bomb site again. Devil, oh no, they're all watching lobby. No one's watching that vent wrap, and he gets one. Could have found a hell of a lot more. Fuchs still getting a shot off from the heaven, but it's a 2-on-3. Windigo are going to start pushing out. This is crazy. Twanu's getting 3 kills left and right. They tap the bomb, and Twanu's killed them all alongside Fuchs. How on earth does that fall apart for Windigo? I have no idea. They plant for heaven, they play squeaky, and then they realize the error of their ways, run out to their death. That is not a round they should be losing.
No, definitely not. I think, in the 5v3, the idea was, right, if we just group all up in the hut, we can just trade this, right? And the second Devil gets the information, like, okay, they've all pushed into Squeak. I've seen them with my own 2 eyes. You saw Fuchs gets down from the heavens, spots where the bomb plant is, immediately taps it to draw those peaks out. And because Windigo haven't been inside the bomb site, they don't know where Twano is. They don't know if both players are playing inside of the bomb site. And you can see they weren't ready for that man's position, and just him drawing the attention away, allowing Fuchs to get so much done. But this force buy from Windigo, already netting 1 kill. Devil will equalize things out with one of his own. They're trying to get some presence into this A bomb site, but Matt Hend is there, and that is the bomb dropped out in the open.
Yeah, and he just tucks into cover as well, waits for his team to rotate in, because with that bomb so committed to the A site, Windigo need a miracle to get it back. Bubble's going to have a pretty impressive round here. Victor is down in the vents, but the issue is it's very hard to get anything done from this position. No utility to get them up, and the flash is there. Bubble's dead. So Victor hoping for something here. He does actually manage to get out, and he can grab this AK off the body behind him, but how much more can he really do with it? Instinct are giving him a lot of room, but they're also not allowing him to take the bomb. There's 2 players on this site, and they'll be playing for that information. The second they see him, I imagine we see a double peek, but there's the info. Victor gets spotted, grabs the bomb. Can he get down vents? Can he try and escape? He's found one. Oh, Victor, it's a double, and he knows there's another man on the site as well. He drops down through the vents towards B, and he somehow made this doable.
Yeah, but just 2 HP to his name. He will get the bomb down at the very least, and he's got a few seconds to try and work out how he exactly wants to play this situation. Bomb is planted for Decon. Victor not going to go pushing into it, instead trying to set himself up in the cubby here. Now, there is a nade on Devil. If this falls into the right place, that could be enough to get rid of this nuisance, this pest. Victor Gonna hear the windows break above him. He holds his own, keeps his eye on Decon. Devil with the nade, drops it in. Victor's got to get away, but he can't. Not in time. Devil doesn't have a kit. It's going to be close, but Instinct... Ooh,
oh,
he doesn't have it.
Victor's won the round.
He doesn't have it. Victor did enough. And Instinct, they're punished by the lack of kit in that round. Instinct going to be kicking themselves. Victor somehow gets that job done. That was a 1v4.
They look shocked. They have no idea how they won that round. You know, Instinct were giving a lot of room here to Victor, and I thought, you know, surely that's fine. Surely you can give him the room, because the second he gets to the bomb, you're just going to peek him. Well, they do that, Harry, and the way that he isolates those fights into one-on-ones is splendid. So great effort from Victor, and that is not a round that they should be winning. This game is certainly looking crazy so far.
Yeah, the real problem there is though, right? Matt Hend, you kind of just relied on him being the man to kill Victor straight up, because he was the only guy who was near enough to the bomb. I think even if Devil had rushed it straight from the window, there wouldn't have been enough time. So, you know, Devil really does pick that trade up physically as fast as he can almost. And there still wasn't the time for it. Now, Victor's already continued his great fashion from the round prior by opening up in this one, trying to shut down the cobbled-together force buy, but Matt Hend with his deadly D answers straight back. Tuano's in with another, and this game has been such a game of force buy wars over and over again. Overpass was the same story. Nuke now looks to have history repeat itself. Victor and Poison remain in this 2v2. Davidovek scavenged an AK. So Instinct, they might have been the team forcing into this round, but they're now looking better off. 2 rifles, bit of utility still to play with. But the wraparound from Poison might blindside these players towards outside. They certainly seem aware. Poison somehow finds the double with a MAC-10.
Nothing makes sense anymore, Harry.
No, it doesn't.
That'll do, certainly. It was a bit unfortunate. The first player that he killed in the garage, he just checks hell. The second he looks back to the yard, Poison pushes hell. So he really got timed, and he wasn't going to check it for at least another 5 to 10 seconds. So Poison had a free kill there, and then the second player had no idea what was going on. Like, caught out in a crossfire. Windigo 2-1, and the money is not there for Instinct, so no more pistol wins, I don't think. We'll see, though. I'm just looking for this pick-up on heaven. Not exactly armed for the job, though, with a MAC-10. Ships will drop Fuchs, but look at the lobby push. Matt-10's found perfect timing, and he does get that low HP player. Blocker trading, though, keeps this round alive. He hears the drop on the hut as well, and there it is for Victor. Nice, clean round for Windigo. They only lose the MAC-10. They keep all 4 AKs running, and now they've got another buy in the future. I wonder if we're even going to see the AWP so early into this game for Windigo. They should have the money for it. They do, but they do not, Harry. And Instinct haven't even bought up yet, of course. They're still on another eco here. Half buy with those SMGs.
Yeah, at least gives him something to work with in this round. But Victor has already started off in good form once again. Now he's getting pressured. Fuchs and Devil.
Uh-oh. That's the bomb. Oh, no.
They've given the advantage. Tuano's in with another, and yeah, Blockers have to go back to get the bomb. They're able to retrieve the gun, and Blockers still bested by Devil. Poison's left alone, and surely Instinct don't snatch this round up. They had a couple of SMGs, a few armored players coming into it, and now they've scavenged 3 AKs from these fallen Windigo players.
And look at Devil as well. This is Gremlin tier Counter-Strike. I love this so much. The last place Poison is going to check is the spawn. He might not even go for this, Harry. Like, being real, it's a 1-on-3. The bomb is under the control of Instinct. With the bomb in such a position, they can cover it from anywhere. They can go hut roof, they can go inside 8, they can give it up. They, you know, if you're Poison, you're left guessing with no answers.
Yeah, I mean, you know, unless you're like have some psychic ability here, Poison has no way of knowing where these players are. And with where the bombs dropped, it really is horrible. There's so many different levels. There's so much verticality around this area of the map. So Poison really is kind of hamstrung to try and find anything here. And with just 25 seconds left, maybe if he finds his first man and could just snatch the bomb, he might be able to get it down, and he will delete Fuchs. It's Matt Hend who should really secure this round, and indeed he will. Instinct snatching around back, 2-3 now. And that was just the partial investment. They all had $2,000 left floating around in the coffers, so money is going to be looking great here for this French CT side.
And I bet Poison's glad he didn't buy the AWP in the previous round, because now he'll certainly should. He's going to have the money for it, and they're going to have their own. So, no, just going with the AK here. Surprisingly enough, it is a T-side of Nuke. It's understandable, but CTs are always going to have an AWP after they win an eco like that. Twanu donning that one. Back in the CT spawn for now. Windigo creeping outside. They've got these smokes down and more to fall as well. Molotov in through secret. The re-smoke to allow him to cross as well. Twanu can't get the info. He's desperately looking, but I love that. They jump over their little gaps, so he doesn't even spot their tippity toes. They'll get down towards B, and Fuchs doesn't know how many players are around this corner.
Ooh, poison gone. Twanu with his AWP in hand, gonna best the AWPer on the other side of the equation of Fuchs. Up on the rafters, gonna be given a free line of sight. Oh, but the Molotov's good, and they're planting in this smoke. Instinct were not ready for that one bit. They're left scratching their heads as to how this bomb's gone down. They do at least have players already here in the bomb site. This is a very unconventional round. The door's closed, and Victor just waits on the other side of it. He is the skeleton in the closet. As he lies in wait, Instinct rotating around onto the ramp. Luke's going to tap the bomb, baits a couple of shots out, and now with a hole in the door, Bubble and Victor able to get the first man. This is such an odd fight to be taking, and Victor finally shut down. Ship's still alive, the Molotov's gone in, but it's not on the bomb. It's not on the bomb, and they're sticking it. Ship's out in the open. Twanu finds him, and Instinct, they make the retake work. They tie it up 3-3 in spite of Windigo's best efforts. They're able to clamp down in that retake and find success.
That got scary for a second. When Devil gets that kill in Decon, his teammate throws a molly in Decon to kill whoever it was there, and he actually mollies Devil out of getting into the bomb site. Doesn't matter, they win the round, but it almost comes back to bite Instinct. And this is such an exciting game already, Harry. Back and forth, 3-3. Windigo, 2 AKs, 3 Deegs. This is a bit of a messy one, looking maybe to speed up the pace a little bit towards this A site. They put pressure on early, and they tried to send a split through the yard into main. Blocker is unsuccessful. Devil again. He's been in the back of the garage a lot of times now. And Windigo, they're definitely going to keep an eye on that position later in this map. Bubble is in the vents, but it's a small consolation when you've got no other control. I don't think they realize he's here, though. So that's one positive. The issue is you have to make noise to get anywhere else. And here's the ramp split, perfectly timed. Poison out of nowhere, 2 1Ds, and Windigo, they've opened up B.
Yeah, somehow, some way, Victor's got a deagle of his own, but he actually will get bested by Davidovec. Matt Hand on this wrap round. He is not ready for Ships, who is just hidden, tucked away. Matt Head been deleted, and this kind of just shuts off the entire ramp area as an area of the map that you could look to retake from. Devil and Davidovec, they've got to have a change of heart here. They try and take control of the vents, and they will manage that at the very least. But with Ships' AWP over towards ramp, that's a terrifying prospect to deal with here if you are the Instinct squad.
Oh, there it is.
Damage traded back and forth through the wall bang, but time's ticking away, and the bomb planted out in the open. Ships can keep an eye on the cross. Misses the first shot. They do get into the bomb site, but there's no time left for the defuse, even if they wanted to. Devil, well, he does get all the kills required. He's going to fall to the bomb. Everyone in the server dies, and Windigo salvage a 4th round.
At least they make it interesting and try and hurt the money there a little bit over the likes of Windigo, but not going to be a winnable round. They kind of realized, Harry, as well, when they're in decon, they go, okay, we've got no time left, but we can't run. That bomb's going to kill us, so may as well go and get the frags behind it. Smoke misses the bomb and the defuse isn't there, so Windigo sit 1 round up.
I tell you what, we didn't catch those deegs from Poison the first time around, but those were clean. That was clinical, and now Instinct, once again, on the kind of wrong side of the economy. Similar spot to how we saw their overpass start to crumble away from them, and this time they've decided to bank some cash. Devil is waiting here, hoping that players go running by. Poison deleting Fuchs down at ramp. Devil's biding time. Oh, no! Gets 1 at the very least, but the trade is there straight away.
He'll take 1, Harry. With that spam, he'll take 1 every day. But 4 on 2, Davidovec getting it. That's still Poison's ready for it. 1 man on top of the hut. Not long for this world. Blockers even flanking the heaven as well. So Windigo, they are attacking A from 3 different positions at once. And it won't even matter. Twanu's dead, and Windigo take the round. 5 up on this T side. It was, you know, it kind of kind of similar to Overpass in the sense of, you know, very back and forth at the start, and then we could just see Windigo starting to run away with things on their terrorist half. They ended 10-5, and although the second half was interesting for a second, it seems like Windigo, you know, they definitely feel confident. They feel comfortable right now. They're in control of this map. And Instinct, they barely have money. So another eco round, another half by more nades, more pistols, more SMGs, and not much chance.
They even tried nade stacking towards outside, and Windigo had a lot of players there, but the nades just don't find any damage. The scout on Tuano trying to whittle down these players towards outside. It has found some damage onto Victor at least. Fuchs waiting down here in secret. DreamHack getting the first man, barreling on over the top of the hut. Is going to be Blocker, but maybe he wishes he hasn't.
What is going on here, Harry?
I don't know, you can't even predict this game at this point in time. These four spies have had such good results for either squad. Bubble and Victor are trying to return us from this insanity, but Tuano on the scout has made this round doable. 2v2, and he's just dodging shots left and right, trying to keep these AKs as far away from them as he can, because he doesn't have that armor to fall back on. He will finally get picked up by Poison, and now it's Devil hanging around on the ladder. He's laid in wait the entire round, and they will avoid him for the time being.
Ooh, he's hesitant. He's realized he's grabbed himself a UMP, and now he knows they're going down towards B because they haven't split main. 30 seconds for Windigo to get down to this site. Devil spotted one. Can't hit the shot, and they're lined up there, two in position. They just spray the vents, and another round for Windigo, but that gets so close, Harry, again. A 5-on-3 initially for the likes of the CT side, and Windigo managed to claw it back. They slow down the pace in the yard. They wait for those CTs to give them the gunfights. And of course, AKs versus SMGs and pistols, they win them. So 6-3, and I feel like it's one of the first buys we've even seen from Instinct that it's still lacking. They have one kit, Tuano's got no armor, a shotgun, and a UMP. But beggars can't be choosers, Harry. And hey, we've seen them do more with less.
Well, Tuano looking to step up to the plate towards outside. Glass cannon AWP. Smoke's falling, and there's no gap in them, so he is unable to keep an eye on the potential secret wrap. Ships is set up here, but no one else is. Leaving their options open are Windigo. Looking like Instinct tempted to go for some aggression into hut and ramp here. Maybe going to try and go for the lobby crunch. If they do, there is a nasty surprise waiting on the other side. 3 players grouped up here for Windigo. Now starting to turn their attention towards the ramp run. Fuchs draws the attention away. Devil good for one, but Blocker gets that trade. Fuchs try as he might. Now this wraparound from Hut, but Matt Hen missed shots. Victor able to deal with him. DreamHack and Tuano remain. The AWP, 1M4, and a Dream, but they've got the bomb at a very least.
There's the trade, though. Now they know exactly where DreamHack is. He's cornered. Vents die from ships, and it's too early. Poison wasn't there to get the trade, and DreamHack's taking the kill. He shut down the round. 3 from him. And the 1-on-2 clutch. This is the man that we asked to step up here for the likes of Instinct, and he's done exactly that. Definitely miscommunication on the side of Windigo there. Ships just goes up through the vents before Poison's even in position to get the trade there. And that round falls apart for Windigo. Nothing makes sense anymore, Harry. It's so back and forth. It's damn exciting, but it's got to be definitely a little worrying to be playing right now. Windigo calling in a tactical pause. Definitely a good decision. Take a breather, because you'll need it.
Yeah, you know, Overpass felt a lot more structured, a lot more, you know, kind of cookie-cutter Counter-Strike, whereas Nuke, it's been very scrappy. It's just been a brawl across the board. Tactical pause for Windigo. They're going to try and figure out exactly what is going wrong in this in that last round, rather. 6-4, you know, still already fielding a great T side. Even if Instinct go flawless from this point onwards, Windigo can't be too disappointed.
But they want more than that, Harry. They're not going to be happy at 6. However, they might not get a choice. Tuano's going to take the head off a Blocker on top of the silo. Poison. Scoped up. Got to be very careful if you're DreamHack here. Luckily, this smoke comes down. That will shield his position, and the spray through, well, That's a great way to start a round if you're Instinct. Another two-man advantage. Maten's close in the yard. He's got support from DreamHack up in main. And Instinct are just winning the duels right now. One-on-one's going fabulously for them. Victor trades it back, finally gets another gun. And there's so many players in the yard right now. There's two, and a third for Victor. Making every clutch seem possible.
The wraparound from Mathead should solidify this. I mean, Victor, while he's been so good in these situations... Oh, no! Mathead's missed! Victor, another chance, but not quite. Oh, I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he makes these like 1vx scenarios look so doable every time. He's always able to isolate these one-on-ones. Doesn't matter when they go for, you know, the big old kind of wide peaks to get the big double peaks at the same time. He's just flicking back and forth, but it is the wraparound from Mathead to solidify a fifth for the French squad. All back in the hands of Twano. He's very happy about that. And an eco here for Windigo. A chance for Instinct to tie things up.
Yeah, make some money as well. That's something they've been desperately hoping for, considering how back and forth this game is so far. No one's really made any cash. They've constantly been on pistols. Mathead and Fuchs opening up in this one. The yard seems to be going very well for Instinct indeed, and a clean round for them. 4 players surviving at the end of it. I'll take down Windigo, and as you say, equalize the score 6-6. But here's the buy from Windigo. This was only, of course, an eco with Glock, so can't expect too much for the yard play. And Windigo, we've really not seen anything but yard play this entire map. They've gone for you know, the A play and the pistol, one ramp split, and other than that, it's pretty much just been defaulting yard and trading down to these 2-on-2s that sometimes they win and sometimes they don't. So I wonder if Windigo are going to continue with just taking these mid rounds, or if they want to switch up the pace a little bit and look elsewhere. DreamHack has been smoke shooting all game long.
Yeah, you know, we've seen a recovery from him here. You know, kept saying we want to see a bit more. Well, he will get deleted by ships in that head-to-head. And outside control taken once again by Windigo. Even in that round prior with the Glocks, they're able to get a lot of territory towards this area. Setting ships up in heaven. Blocker going to extend the man advantage back in favor of this Windigo T side, and now grouping up for what looks like the A split from heaven and main, but the aggression from Twano and Fuchs might be well timed. They've just missed the information. They would have caught the players crossing, but they are still going to be hot on the heels of Windigo here. Twano gets one. Fuchs has been spotted, so they know there's 2 players on the wrap, and that smoke falling. That's locked Fuchs out from the hut. Devil's down at the vents, and this is a horrible position to try and get up from. With Twano getting brought down so low, this round feels like it's going to be a real struggle if they want to go for the retake. Fuchs trying to hang around in that smoke, but he decides against it, and the save call's going to come out here from Instinct. Holding on to these 2 rifles means they can afford to buy up in the next round, so it's an important save here for this CT side.
That's still a really nice attempt from Instinct in that re-aggression up on ramp there. If Twano gets like killed 2 seconds later, he just held Squeaky and he got peeked. If that Squeaky play comes in 2 seconds later for Windigo and Twano still hits a shot, I think Fuchs gets the planter and they probably win that round. It's just a couple of seconds separate them from Windigo being aware of the flank. It's 7 rounds and a half here for Windigo. They find another one to their name. We talked about potentially Instinct even pulling it back 9-6. Well, now that's no longer a possibility, but they can still win the half out. The issue is probably not with this buy. Or actually, I take that back. We've seen eco wins left, right, and center. The issue is Windigo, they've had enough, and they're rushing. Fast into A, quick trades going their way, 3 for 3. The player up in main though, and Twali's not getting any. He's going to be dropped off. Victor lands on the head of his teammate, and Devil just shoots up into his legs. It's Bubble now in a 1-on-3, and Fuchs shuts him down. Instinct again with another low buy. Get it done.
And Victor there, you could tell he was very confused. Yeah. He tried to drop down. He's like, what is going on? You know, up on the head of Devil.
Fair enough for Devil to hit that shot. Like to just look straight up. Yeah. That's a really weird round. Devil's had a great game as well. 14-9 right now. Top performer in the server. That's nice to see.
Yeah, we finally have kind of players showing up around the stars from the map prior. Devil continuing his good form here towards outside. Will finally get dealt with there by Bubble. There's a bit of a gap in that smoke, and Twano's going to look to exploit that all day long. Second one will now fall on in and allow for this cross, but not for free. Twano striking ships from the server. There's a gap for Davidovec, but there we go. Sees defeat the second time around. Poison's out in A in the meantime, but this might throw this entire round into question. He's trapped though at the vents for the time being. Has to be wary of this potential heaven push. Wrap around underneath from Matt in the meantime, up through Secret, and it is just disarray across the map.
Yeah, Instinct, they have a thirst for knowledge. They want to peek something, they want to get some information, and they will do it. Matt Hen goes up the stairwell. They knew that Windigo were in the yard. They didn't know how deep they'd gotten, and the misinformation where they saw one guy fail to cross through those smokes maybe led them to believe that there was no one down B. Well, they couldn't be further from the truth. 3-on-2 here for Windigo. Victor's trying to rotate down. Victor's making a lot of noise, but if you look at that bomb, it's still up in lobby. I still think they're going for this A play here for Windigo. Bubble's just waiting for a ramp push, knowing that Instinct love their mid-round pushing. And 25 seconds for them to try and work something out. Instinct have been completely sold on this fake. Windigo have taken the bomb through Hut, and they're going to get that plant. 3-on-2 in the post plant. Last round of the half, Instinct have to go for it. And Fuchs has finally realized it's not B as well. This is a heartbreaking round for Instinct. They have been completely rumbled.
They got to try and go for it. Last round of the half, so Tuano and Fuchs desperate to try and find something. And Tuano up from the vents, dealt with, poisons in with another. The crossfire just too strong, and that will be Windigo narrowly winning out the half over on the T side. Instinct, they were hoping to find some solace here in their map pick of Nuke, and this one is split right down the middle. Certainly not the first half they wanted. Can they recover in the T side? We'll find out after the break.
Got away, her smile was real but cast astray. Of all the things I can't forget, I held her hand and she let go. The world went and made her soul a picture that burns when you hold it. And now I'm thinking all the things I should have said. And now I'm drinking from the memories laid to rest. Baby, do you want me back? Maybe for one more chance. Baby, don't let it go and fade away. Hold me just one more time. Kiss me like sweet red wine. Let it be more than a memory of the night. Ago, you were the sun when I was cold, the cover of the clouds close behind. I couldn't find the words to say, then I watched you walk away. Here I am caught in the shadow. And now I'm dreaming of the dance we should have had.
Windigo taking 8 rounds on the T side of Nuke here for map number 2 of this series, and Instinct just sitting on the back foot by a little bit on their map pick.
Yeah, in case you missed the first map, Windigo currently sat 1-0 up in this series after they took over past their map pick here on Nuke. We hope the Frenchman would take us the distance, take us all 3, but sitting around behind, now moving into their T side, we need to see something very impressive indeed from the French squad here. Ship's able to open up this pistol round. Devil shutting down, poison down in hell, and that now is some outside control gain. They're down through ramp, trying to hit B, but these USPs already rotated down, trying to keep them back at range. Blocker gets brought down low in the process, and they just decide to pressure him. They hear the reload, they're looking for the kill, and he'll get shut down. Victor and Bubble left wondering where this round went oh so wrong. Windigo down through the vent, Bubble goes. And he will get rid of Twano, making this doable. 2 on 3, denied the bomb plant as well. And he has got a kit on his back, so even if it goes down, they've got time to play with, but it might not matter because Devil's been deleted. Instinct, they had B, and now they've lost it. Matt Hen, 1v2, will be allowed to retrieve the bomb. He doesn't have armor. Just the Glock by his side. He can at least get this bomb down inside of A to give himself a fighting chance. Try and use this bomb like a second man almost, play around it. And it will get planted open. Where does he decide to hedge his bets?
He's going to play the other side. This is risky. They're both coming from the heavens, so they're going to have a free one-on-one against them. Or a 2-on-1, essentially. Bubble gets the shot, and there's no armor for Matt, and he's dead immediately. So Windigo, they take that pistol, and that's such a shame. I was just about to commend Instinct on how good that pistol round was. The pace they set in the yard, the fast rush past main, and they even get into hell and drop down towards B from ramp. But then they leave the door open, Harry, and that's the biggest issue here. You can see Bubble just comes in through the vents and gets 2 kills. So very good round for Bubble, but big mistake made by Instinct, and they're going to come to regret that. That was their chance to take the lead here in the second half. Now they're left with a force buy. 1 AK, 2 Galils. Windigo fully armed for this one as well.
Yeah, 3 rifles out here for Instinct, though. Nothing you can be too disappointed with.
Poison, First Blood, and Instinct one-on-one. They're just trying to get through the yard right now. Poison's just got the information. The smoke to cut off main at least denies some knowledge for Windigo, but it's a double back from Instinct. They're not going to commit towards outside. Not really armed for the job anyway. 2 Galils, 2 Deagles. Devil's not even got armor, so going back inside towards the A site. You can see Windigo are unaware of this. Bubble's keeping his eye down on B. Doesn't know if someone did make it down through secret. They lost the info there, but he's realized now they're up on ramp. The footsteps are heard. Bubble gets 1. Trade is there from Devil, and there's a chance for Instinct.
Ah, but it's fast diminishing. Windigo finding another, looking for the bomb over at ramp. They get so close, they know that Devil's here. They've got him trapped between a rock and a hard place. But Twano is creating some space. However, Blocker is quick to get rid of it. Twano left up in the 1v3. Bomb dropped. Not really any hope for him here. 20 seconds left. This would be... I mean, this is an undoable clutch. There is just no way back into this round, right? Even if he finds both players over at ramp, getting that bomb down is the real problem, and he just has to hold on to the M4. Windigo going to reach double digits here over on the CT side at 10-7, keeping 3 players alive as well. And with Twano holding on to this M4, he's the AWPer, of course, for Instinct. A man who we noticed, you know, real kind of difference when he had the AWP out, how it affected this team. His money now is in a pretty dire spot looking at the future. So, something to keep an eye on as this game progresses.
The thing you have to remember as well, is so hard to get that AWP going on the T side anyway, so it's not the end of the world. We didn't even see Windigo opt to go for the T side AWP when Poison even had the money early into the half. So yeah, it's not the end of the world, but certainly not what you want for one of your key players. The best performer back on that previous map as well. 10-7, Windigo starting to run away with the CT side. And Instinct, what have they got left in the tank? Another wall of smokes outside, but they're not going to commit with it.
No, not initially. Instead, just throwing these in, actually going through them now, trying to give the illusion that maybe they've crossed out in through secret. Instead, these French forces lying in wait over in the yard. Poison will just take the peak, and he's going to win it. 3 kills for him. They get laid waste to outside. Devil and Devadevek, or Devil Devek, as their couple name would be, left standing. 2v3, Deagle and a PT50 between them. Not really much of a shot at any success in this round. Windigo in with another. And this is where, you know, you're really going to get punished by Twano having to hold on to that M4 in the round prior. He doesn't even have money for the AK and armor looking at this one.
And that's the issue, right? We're like, what, 4 rounds into the half, and we've not had a single full buy from Instinct. This won't even be a full buy if you want to get pedantic and talk about the Mac 10. It's not the end of the world. You can easily try and send him in for the vent dive with that, but It's just not what you want. 11-7, the first buy round of the half here for Instinct.
Especially because you think about the ending of Overpass, and it did really feel like the economy was one of the real problems for the Instinct squad, right? The second they were on the back foot of that, and they didn't have all the bells and whistles, you didn't get the AWP on Tuano, and they kind of got stuck in that rut of having a force buy. And it was very much their undoing, and now Nuke could potentially be a similar story. This becomes a very important round for Instinct. They've already lost the early man. Davidovec is back in with the trade. They know that Victor lies on the other side of the smoke, so they're not going to go barreling through it. Instead, turning their attention back towards ramp room. Tuano upgrading onto an AK from that MAC-10, so it's still rifles across the board here for Instinct. Windigo with a triple rotation down to B, giving up ramp, leaving Bubble at this A side alone. And he could get a bit hamstrung here. Bubble kind of hung out to dry. Smoke going to start to fade. He takes an aggressive position in the hut, and now his ship's falling. Bubble, he's the unknown factor. He's got to win this fight, and Tuano finds him. Blocker and Victor both still down at this B side of the map, both grouped up in the vents. A bad enough position to try and get back into a bomb site from if you're one player, let alone both players being in this portion. And yeah, Victor, 1v4. We say he's always so good at making these clutches look doable, but this is one that he should have no stake in.
No business winning. Instinct aren't going to feed him the kills. They just bunker down inside of the bomb site. Gets the info that one's up in heaven, but no repeat, and Devil immediately already inside of the CT spawn just to change his angle up. Victor just going to look to save here in this round, and Instinct, while their first rifle does come up well for them at least, this is where I'm kind of excited, Harry, because, you know, Instinct picked this map. They're on the T side. The scoreline is perfectly close, perfectly reasonable. Definitely a chance they can still win this game. And with their first rifle round going their way, that sets us up for a bit of a half here. Victor will be able to save the gun, taking down Devil on the exit, but no one else nearby. They're already hiding inside of T-spawn with those AKs. So 3 alive for Instinct. The money's starting to build up as well, which is a huge factor, something we didn't see back on Overpass with so many back and forth rounds, or even in the first half of this map when they're on the CT side.
And I tell you what, right, one of the players who was having a hell of a game back on Overpass was Fuchs, right, alongside Tuano. He's fallen a little bit silent here on Nuke. You know, we've been looking towards Devil and Davidovec. You know, fair play to Davidovec, but you and I were kind of saying we wanted to see a bit more from him. He's definitely showed up here when they needed him to the most. But it's just a matter of having all your stars align at the right time for this Instinct gaming squad. Rifles out across the board once again. Blocker going to get flashed out from the early squeaky push. Here's all these footsteps running over the hut above him. Poison in a pretty dire spot here, able to flick onto Matt. A 1-for-1 there really is about as good as Poison could have got in that situation. Bubble getting blindsided by Tuano out through the ramp. Man advantage taken, and Tuano tries to continue his little reign of terror. He'll get cut short as the ship answers back.
And within 30 seconds, Instinct, they have a player in heaven, they have a player on B, and they have a player still in the yard. I mean, this pace being set on this T side is unreal for Instinct, and I think this could be a real problem for Windigo. It's looking like another round, Harry, unless Blocker can stop the bomb plant here and save the day, but that Molotov will deny his presence. This is getting very interesting indeed, and Blocker's been caught up from main. Fuchs coming in with a very important kill there. Ship's now last alive, 1 on 3, knows the position of at least 2 of these players, but still doesn't know there were 2 within the bomb site, now has to work that out for himself. Definitely a clutch, you want to give it a go, but also not one that you have a huge chance to win, so I feel like Ships is just going to save. The bomb's already half tick. And that's another rifle round for Instinct. Back-to-back, 2 in a row here on the T side. And, you know, the same strategy they employed in the pistol round. They go for that silo climb at the start and go for all these flashes outside, plus the main smoke, and then drop off of main and try and wrap heaven. Poison, he had the AWP close towards main. He spotted the shadow of one of the players on top of the main roof, and that's why he was able to get the flick and get 1 kill there. But, I mean, a 1-for-1, not what you'd really want from that position. Of course, he was not going to be ready for that pace, so you can't expect more from him, but your AWP going down so early on into the round is a bit of a problem for Windigo, and now look at the money. Gone.
Yeah, it's very much back to the drawing board for the Bulgarians in this round. Ships will at least hold on to the Org. He's taking that over towards ramp, and it looks like we got
a quad stack.
Yeah, toward outside.
Is that? Oh, I really want to see that in action.
Are we going to, though? It looks like Fuchs is curious as to what outside has in store. They might have actually dismantled this little stack. I see a couple of players moving. There's ships deleted. And that's you know, a lot of the pressure for Instinct removing this round. That one hero Org maybe could have looked to have done something here for the CT squad. Now that that's been removed from the equation, you can see they're desperate to try and retrieve it. They're desperate to scavenge this rifle, and Fuchs is going to spot that it's gone, so he knows that there's a player nearby. He'll delete Bubble, still getting pressured by these USPs. 1 HP to his name, trying to fight for survival, and Victor does pluck him from the ranks at the very least.
I do like how slow Instinct play these anti-ecos until they get the information. They never rush anywhere. They know exactly what Windigo's money is like, and they just take their time in trying to work out where this stack is, what little trick are Windigo employing, and also what weaponry do they have. So very nice and reserved from Instinct. They take their time. They don't overcommit towards the yard after getting that first pick, because I think that's somewhat what Ships wanted to do there. If he gets a kill, then okay, that's great. You're a man up. If he dies, he's hoping Instinct rush yard. But that wasn't to be. Still will be the round for Instinct. 10 up on this T side, and an Org saved plus an AK. But this game is awfully close now, and Instinct, who are looking very well drilled on this T side, could they could bring us to a third, Harry.
It is certainly looking that way, right? This CT side from Windigo has left us wanting a little bit. You know, one thing we kind of noticed about their CT side on overpass is it was very fluid, right? There was a lot of movement between A and B, and they're almost doing that here, right? They are kind of hedging their bets with a lot of these stacks, you know, going for early rotates down towards that B bomb site. And that's something that the Instinct have been able to exploit time and time again, really, is just kind of these over-rotations from the Windigo side. The amount of rounds where you've seen, you know, the round kind of ultimately draw to a close with 3 players down on B and then that bomb going down up in the A bomb site because the solo defender that gets left there to anchor can't hold off versus the opposition.
Well, here's the breaking point. The chance for Instinct to equalize the score and put Windigo on eco. Well, the chance for Windigo to keep this in their favor. Which will it be? 4 rifles for this CT side. Missed nades early on, but no push from Squeaky. So if anything, saved utility for Windigo. Chips is down on B. Those smokes being watched on the edge, but not full info there for Windigo. Instinct could have had a player behind them to get down towards secrets. Now we've got to see Ships dedicate himself to that lower bomb site for the rest of the round, really, until they get more info. Instinct, in the meantime, putting pressure on A. Just doing their best to force out all the utility of Windigo nice and early on. Now Devil will make use of his early position taken on top of that main roof, and he's going to get all the way through the yard. This is a perfect timing play for Devil, and it could work out for this A split.
And this is something Instinct have been so good at doing time and time again, is just abusing this outside area, turning back round. Poison checks it just a couple of seconds too late, but that's all it takes. And now Devil up in the heavens, such a strong position to split into the A-bomb site from, and everybody's dead. Ships here, trying to save the day, might have done enough. He gets 2, but he will still get dropped. Bubble now denies that bomb pickup, and this is falling apart for Instinct. They get A within a matter of seconds, but Bubble and Ships on the fast flank round, trying to save it, but not quite. All tied up, 11-11 now. Instinct clawing their way back into this game. And the pressure on for Windigo now. This one's at like a very comfortable lead held by the Bulgarian squad, and now it's all turned sour. This is the 4th round consecutively for the Instinct T side.
And look at the money. It might be a fifth, Harry, because with one rifle and a shotgun, Windigo are scrambling. Fuchs climbing up above the smoke. Does he know that there's two players here? He's already heard Victor. Poison nearby also. Shotgun on ramp, actually finding a bit of chip damage. Bubble getting 2 kills off of it. Devil will take blocker in the meantime, and Bubble's been dropped. But that's still a 2 for 2. Windigo will take that. The issue is they lose map control as a result, and B's now been opened up by Instinct. Devil's going to be down in that lower site already. Ships is still up on A, and there's a flanking through the T-spawn as well. Victor's the only rotate down towards B, and he's got to do it all on his own. Instinct have got the bomb here in play. And once they go for the plant, there's no one covering this double door, so they've got to be very careful. Tuano will take it safely behind Decon. There's the leg, though, and Victor's looking to take it off. Does a lot of damage. 27 HP for Tuano and a 2-on-3 post-plant for Instinct to try and close out.
Spied it now, Tuano left standing. While he does get the first man, he is very much hung out to dry there and kind of fed to the wolves almost. The ramp position so open, so many angles on looking into him. And Windigo, they will manage to keep this lead up. 12-11, narrowly so, however. Still plenty of money for the French squad into this round. So buying will not be an issue yet.
I've got to say, what a game from Devil we're having. Not only the kills that he's getting being hugely impactful, but the flanks he's pulling into this T side.
Just the space he's creating.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's actually really, really nice to see. And he's the top of the server right now, Harry. Has been all half. Ooh, that's a meaty nade. Bubble's even going to take down Matt End as well. Look at the lobby crunch. Windigo went for the push up through ramp, and now they're just crushing Instinct. Somewhere, somehow, they've come alive, and no one's even dying here for Windigo. 3 kills in seconds. Ships is going to go back in for more. Fuchs eventually trades him out, but there's still another player down in hell, and that smoke covers Bubble's position. He gets a kill. Davidovec now with a bomb. We asked a lot of him earlier on, but this is a little bit too much.
Yeah, it certainly feels like it. Creeping forward. Ooh, will shut down Bubble, but left with just 2 HP to his name. This does not feel like a winnable round for Davidovec. He might just look to try and hold on to this AK. Windigo, you know, we kind of mentioned how they've been playing pretty fluid with these rotations between the bomb sites. And there, they decide to, you know, keep the kind of high movement of the CT side that they like up, but instead it's the aggression, right? They go for the lobby crunch, as you say. You know, in response to that instinct, they go, okay, they've taken lobby with the majority of their team. Will try and hit outside. And within seconds, Windigo have rotated multiple players back to that area of the map. You had Bubble set up down in the window. You had ships in CT. You had players over towards Mini. So it just felt like, you know, wherever Instinct turned, they were running into this Bulgarian brick wall wherever they tried to find any success. Here's that replay of the lobby push from Bubble, and this is him once again setting himself up down in hell. So very mobile on this CT side. Something that Instinct weren't quite ready for.
Instilling some fear, maybe.
I tell you what, this is heartbreaking because we were building this as, you know, Instinct looking good. They've got back into this game. Sure, they might have been on the back foot, but this was their chance to take it all 3. They had money built up. You know, that was kind of the silver lining. It wasn't going to be the same problem as they had on Overpass. They finally had cash to fall back on. But as a result of really finding nothing in that round there, the money does start to become a bit of a problem once again here for the French side. And it would just be so heartbreaking to see once more the lack of cash be the downfall of this squad after they worked so hard to pull it back to such a doable situation.
I'd love to know this lineup that Davidovec's using up in Squeaky as well. He keeps lining up with the roof and then sitting here. He throws some sort of smoke, but I'm not sure what it is. So we'll keep our eyes on that. But it's certainly looking like another one of these A plays for Instinct. Look at the positions of these Ts all ready to burst out. It's just a main swing. That's all it is. A fast play with no flashbangs. It comes in too late. The flash is 2 seconds too late. That doesn't kill blind blocker, and it actually blinds Instinct as they get out onto the site. They still get the kill, but one player is very low, and that bomb plant's yet to come through. This gives ample time for Windigo to rotate in, but there's still a man disadvantage.
Yeah, they've still got utility to work with, though. That Molotov on ships could try and force players out of the open. The nade could mop up a couple, but there's time for Instinct to set up these post plants. Windigo, you know, money's not great. They could almost justify a save here, and if a kill doesn't come through soon, yeah, that looks to be the decision. They back off. So Instinct, the fast A play, the Hail Mary, does work out. I tell you what, DreamHack lined that smoke up for a very long time, and there was still a gap in it over on the left side that Tuano could look through. Not Tuano, rather, Poison could look through. But not the end of the world. Instinct still going to find a 12. They keep 4 players alive. So that kind of, nightmare scenario that we were alluding to about the money potentially being their undoing, they've dodged it for the time being, and they built up cash at a very critical moment towards the end of this map.
That's very lucky that that issue for Instinct with the utility didn't come back to bite them, though. I mean, the flashbang, it came after they'd already pushed through Squeaky. And, they get the kill, but they lose a player in the process. And then after they get the trade, 2 of their players are immediately blind. So that could have been worrying, but controlled well. And 12 rounds to their name, they keep this game going. Windigo holding the lead by the skin of their teeth. Poison's covered off on the outside, no info, smokes it down, tries to throw in a molly for free damage, but we're gonna have to see a rotate here from Windigo. Poison going back towards ramp. His teammate moving in through the vents. Poison actually will still stay in the yard. Only 1 player down on B because Instinct haven't even gotten past the secret. And Bubble, it's no secret there's going to be a CT down here, but on what angle does he sit? Bam's damage done to the second as well after the initial kill. And oh dear, Bubble, 3 kills for his name. That is a lockdown in secret. Victor's even coming through the vents off of that A rotate. And DreamHack, hey, he may have A for free, but he doesn't have the bomb.
No, and that is the most important piece of this puzzle. That would have been the fighting chance he would need in this 1-on-4. He doesn't even have that, so before he can even turn his attention towards attempting a clutch here, he would have to retrieve that bomb, and it's so far away from home. First going to clear out this A side of the map, doesn't spot anyone here, now trying to go back towards ramp, but every second he takes, hopping down there, I think they would have heard that.
Yeah,
so,
Poison did.
Yeah, Poison almost certainly did, and he hears these footsteps, that's for sure. DreamHack just stampeding around on the ramp. Windigo now know where he is, and Poison holding it down the angle. The Bulgarians reach 14. Instinct, is there anything left in the tank? This is where it needs to come out. Staring down the barrel of a potential map and series point for Windigo. Elimination on the line. Instinct need to get it together now more than ever.
And money continues to be a problem. The top fragger in the entire server on a CZ. That's not what you want. So Instinct, 3 AKs, a UMP, and a pistol on Devil. I definitely would like to see one of his teammates throw over a gun, just take the hit. Poison pressured outside. He's got the AWP up close, and they might try and go for this quick wrap towards the yard. He's aware of it. You can see he's already on the angle. They've done this time and time again on the T side, and it's caught him out multiple times. So aware of this chance, and actually go right into the smoke into main. It's an A split, something new from Instinct. Windigo might not be ready for the pace, and the pistol finds a kill. There's a trade with a nade, the 2 from the T side, make it a 3rd. Devil's double with the pistol, and the plant comes through. Bubble can just get there in time, but he's not going to be able to stop if they line up. And only 1 for him. DreamHack, 1 HP, and it's Poison on the wrap round who will solidify that round. What a messy one. Windigo don't even wait. They don't give the room for Instinct to set up the post plants. They just charge in the second they lose that site.
Yeah, that is such a high risk, high reward play from those last 2 players for Windigo. If that fails and you fall short, okay, sure, you got money to buy, but that's going to be, a potential avenue for Instinct back into the game. Instead, they just go for the no respect, straight up the ladder. Not only do they pick up the round, but they don't give any space for DreamHack to get comfortable in that post plant, right? They're very, very quick to shut it down. That's kind of going to be the morale of Instinct now. Crushed, because that round was so close. It comes down to a 3v2 post plant. Things are looking up. They get the bomb down. They have players over in the hut trying to set up to play off the bomb, and it gets stripped away from them. They need 3 rounds in a row if they want to take this through to overtime. They can't even begin to think about taking us all 3 yet. They still have to focus on this map at hand, and they're a long way from it.
What a game for Windigo, though. This has been so back and forth, but finally it feels like they might have just done it. A solo AK-47 on DreamHack. And that's all Instinct have to play for in what could be the final round. This entire series as well, this would send them out of the tournament. And give Windigo a chance to still make those playoffs. They'd have to beat Mousesports to do so, though, and that is No easy feat. We're not at that matchup just yet. This one still has some closing to do. And 3 rounds is still possible. It's just this one buy. You've got to go over this first hurdle with your instinct. Get this awful buy round going, and then you'll have money for the last 2 of the half. They want to split A. They want to just burst in through the hut. Look at the positions. There's no one even here for the split. They're just going for flashes over the top side. Victor won't get blinded. Oh, he does on the second. Fully blind on the side. Poison bails him out, but Victor lines up another. It's a 2v2. This solo AK is heroic indeed, but is it enough? One from DreamHack, and Blocker drops off the hut. He's found 2. Devil with the trade, and the one man's got to hold it together, but he can't. 16 rounds taken by Windigo, and they will find this victory. 2-0, dropping both Overpass and Nuke. Simple as that.
Yeah, Windigo looking good, out for revenge. The Bulgarian boys get the job done. And for Instinct, their journey ends here, a little bit shallower than perhaps they would have liked. A great effort on Nuke and a good effort on Overpass. It was a much better Instinct than what we saw just yesterday. There was definite improvement from those initial games, but it just wasn't enough. Try as they might, we had big performances from the likes of Devil and Tuano, but ultimately, it was the Windigo squad to emerge victorious. Poison having a hell of a series. Victor as well, especially over on Nuke, had some incredible moments for the Windigo squad. And I mean, they're looking good, right? I think yesterday they fell a little flat. They really weren't happy with it. You and I were in that taxi with them back after their defeat, and it was a pretty, somber atmosphere in there. They've arrived today, though, fresh-faced, and they're looking good.
It was nothing that anyone expected. I mean, even Nexus said in the post-game interview after beating Windigo, going, they don't usually play like that. We just had a lot of momentum. We win the pistol, and then we just start steamrolling, and it kind of all falls apart. It was on a map that Windigo maybe shouldn't have brought up in a best-of-1 against, a really good Mirage Pug team in some sense. Not to call Valiance a Pug team, but a really good Mirage team, I guess. And yeah, I don't think Windigo really stepped up to the level that we expected yesterday, but at least they're awake and ready to go here. Obviously, moving forward now to play Mouse Sports, that's not an easy game by any means.
No, definitely not. Mouse obviously falling to Valiance, another kind of surprise upset there. There's a lot going on, a lot of moving parts here. And to help try and break that down and explain some of the stuff that maybe we don't have the knowledge to do, we're going to bring back Frankie and co over on the desk. What did you guys make of that?
Hello. Well, bit of a brawl, wasn't it? And especially on that second map. Apparently, just because you're French doesn't mean you should always pick Nuke.
Yeah, that was a little surprising, right? You expect that when a team picks Nuke, and we saw this with G2 as well, the French teams, they pick Nuke, but then it is so scrappy. When Windigo got 8 rounds on the T side, I thought that was pretty much the game done and dusted. But, kudos to these guys to try and bring it back a little bit into that game. But Windigo, it looked like they're kind of going to be choking a little bit there at the end, but some hero plays coming out. It was a messy map, let's be honest.
It was very messy, very scrappy indeed, and hero plays for sure. I mean, Bubble at the end there in the last few rounds, I think he got 2 or 3 multi-kills with 3 and 4 kills, and he definitely saved Windigo a little bit, but I gotta say, Windigo definitely had the advantages majority of that series. It's so weird. They lost so many anti-ecos.
And Poison had not the best rating yesterday, bottom of the server in their match against Valiance, but actually he showed up on Nuke today. So it's really good to see that Windigo are actually pulling things out of the bag. And of course, Victor, we have to talk about Victor hitting those shots in the yard. But speaking of yard, actually in that first half, do you think that Windigo maybe played it a bit risky by trying to take fights out there rather than going for the plants?
Yeah, they kind of did, I felt like, but to be very honest, it was so scrappy from both sides, right? Like, I don't know why Instinct were giving so many opportunities to Windigo to go for these 1v1 duels, which is always 50-50 most of the times, correct? So, for Windigo, I don't blame the way they played this. They were trying to be disruptive, they were trying to take fights, they were trying to kind of shock and awe Instinct, it kind of felt like, and it kind of worked out. 8 rounds on the T side is definitely a good scoreline.
For sure, and it does look confusing a little bit, but the outside yard is, in fact, it is where you want to have contact. It is where you want to get picks if you can. It got a little hyphy, it got a little messy, but I really liked Windigo's approach. If you notice on the outside yard, they didn't throw both the smokes immediately right away, like we see from most teams from that T spawn. They left one opening close to that red crate, and I think this was meant to avoid the Molotov that sometimes CTs throw, but also to look for those picks, look for the findings. And however, it got very messy. I think Windigo needed to take a little bit of a deep breath and realize they already have the advantages. They no longer need to go searching for them. But yeah, it got pretty messy.
Well, let's have a chat to Victor. He's standing by. Hello, Victor.
Hello.
How was that match for you today? Did it feel better than yesterday?
Of course, it feels better. Like we didn't struggle that much like yesterday, so we played our game today and we managed to win it. So it wasn't easy as well, but I might say that we have more firepower for today, and it's gonna be super good.
Victor, I gotta ask you about that round when you were on the mini connector roof and you ended up landing on top of, I believe it was Devil's head, and you were shooting at Tonwa as he had that op. What were you thinking in that moment?
I remember that. Actually, it was split for inside, and at the moment, my teammate said open main. I was focused on killing it, but at the same time, I jumped on his teammate's head, so I couldn't choose what to do, either to kill the guy under me or focus on the op. So I chose bot and died.
Unlucky.
All right, Victor, my question would be, your anti-ecos were a little rough today, right? You win the pistol, but you lose the anti-ecos. Is that, are you struggling with that? Is there some like issue which you have noticed?
Yeah, back in the days, we was using a lot of anti-ecos, and today, like, I don't know, it wasn't like having a bad work on it. It was just like focus on the information which we get from them. And maybe we do a fast move which make it was, so that's it.
Now, Victor, you're going to be facing Mouse later on. Did you see their match against Valiance yesterday?
Yes, we did, and it's gonna be an amazing game, I think.
Well, of course, Mouse lost to Valiance, so did you. So I'm wondering, what did you learn from that match against Valiance yesterday?
We learned that we shouldn't do fast moves. Doesn't matter what round is it, either eco or by round. So we need to focus on waiting enemy to make mistake, not only us to play in the game, because we're not only one team in the server. So we have to be patient and play more structure in rounds like this.
Well, congratulations, Victor. Well done to the team. We will see you later this afternoon for that best of 3 series against Mouse. Maybe we'll see you on Championship Sunday.
Yeah, maybe.
Good luck.
Great words from Victor. I mean, I hope that they really take those words seriously, because they do need to slow it down a little bit. Those anti-ecos were very messy, and the over-rotations on the CT side of their Nuke was a little worrisome.
I wouldn't really blame them much for Nuke, because it's a map which they don't play that often as well. And like I mentioned earlier, it looks like they were a little YOLOing a little bit, trying to be a little bit more unpredictable. Overpass is where I noticed a lot of flaws in the way they were playing it, especially in the CD side. Like, I think a couple of rounds, that's one round, I think the second half, they won the pistol and they had long completely open, and this player, I forget who it was from Instinct, I think it was Devil or one of them, he actually walked all the way from long, went all the way towards CD spawn, and then they lost a round. Small little mistakes like that, leaving avenues for the T's to walk in and get a free round or a free kill, and of course the over-aggression, especially Ships. I'm going to call him out, because there were many rounds where he fragged like a madman, but there were times when you get the first frag, you fall on back, you maintain that man advantage. You don't want to just throw it away looking to get a 4K or an ace, even on an anti-eco, which they lost, by the way, in Overpass, because he over-aggressed, gave them a free AK, and Instinct managed to win that round. If they make these mistakes against Mouse Sports, not going to work out.
It's definitely not. And I mean, we even saw it on Nuke, right? Holding the upper bomb site on Nuke is always going to be your strength on the CT side generally. Even if they go lower, you wait for that plant and you keep your men upstairs. That's generally the play to make. But we saw multiple occasions, Instinct just walking out upper, and it was a completely clear bomb site. All of the defenders went down as soon as any little showing from Instinct, and they just hopped and moved down lower bomb site a little too fast.
Yeah, it's just too much of tunnel visioning, right. I felt like, where they're like, oh, it's happening over here. There's no need to over-rotate. You know these maps. You know how you like to, you have your protocols in place. And Victor just said it himself. We need to slow things down. We don't need to be so overtly reactive. And I think they're a team, having watched them play in the past, they're a team who can dictate the pace of a map. And as long as they don't get a little too overwhelmed with the fact that they're facing Mouse Sports and all those guys, I think they should at least put up a fight.
I have a feeling, though, that Mouse are probably going to try and set up their stall early and control that pace. They're not going to give an inch to Windigo.
No, they're not.
But we're going to see that later on today, because coming up after the break, it is going to be G2 versus Ghost fighting for their place in this competition. So stick around.